My health care plan delivers the most financial relief to the most people. And here's the best part. We can cover the cost of those plans with targeted taxes on the very wealthiest Americans and large corporations.
Well, she's got a plan. That's what they say. Senator Elizabeth Warren has a plan for everything. Now it's funding her multi-trillion-dollar Medicare for All plan. But could that proposal target groups other than just the wealthy, particularly conservatives?
A new op-ed warns that Warren's Medicare for All could have side effects for GOP-leaning states. Joining us now to discuss is National Taxpayer Union Senior Fellow Mattie Duppler. Welcome.
Morning.
Good morning, guys.
What do you think is the big picture on this plan?
Well, the big picture is just what you said. Elizabeth Warren's plan is not going to be a targeted tax increase. It is broad-based taxes needed to pay for this plan. Now, I will give Elizabeth Warren credit. She has given the most details on how she would pay for this huge takeover of healthcare. But that means 15 trillion with a T dollars in more taxes. And those are taxes that are not just going to hit the wealthy. You know, one of the reasons this tax increase is going to hit people in red states is that it's a tax on employers. So we know that a tax on employers is actually a tax on wages, and that means low-income workers actually bear the brunt of this kind of taxation more than even a higher income worker. So if you look at a tax or look at a state where job creation is fairly robust, there's a lot of opportunity for entrepreneurship, those are the states that are really going to feel the burden of this new tax, because it means every new employee for a business is going to be a big tax liability for that business. I think the obvious consequence is that there will be less hiring and less economic activity as a result.
So another feature of the plan is that she seems to be focusing on inequality. And do you think that inequality is the main problem with our system? And is that the right way to fix all the things that we see that are wrong with our healthcare system here in America?
This is a popular talking point for Democrats, and Democrats are perfectly happy that if everyone is equal, even if they are worse off, they think you're better off just because that means inequality doesn't exist. And this is the problem with healthcare, right? If you nationalize some of the problems in healthcare, they get bigger, not smaller. So rather than importing some of the free market reforms that we've seen at the state level, what Medicare for All is, it would take the worst problems that we have and make them a federal problem.
Yeah, and when you look at the big picture as well, she keeps saying that the middle class will not be impacted, and yet when you're talking about a plan that might be costing something like $52 trillion, that's some of the estimates on Elizabeth Warren's plan, are there enough rich people to tax in order to pay for that?
Not even close. Even if you took 100% of the income that millionaires were making in this country, wouldn't be enough to fuel Medicare for All. So the real challenge for Elizabeth Warren is that she has said repeatedly that this won't hit the middle class, and it absolutely would. It would in the form of this new employer tax. Her wealth tax, of course, would have a huge impact on the stock market, and people who have their pensions and retirements in the stock market would certainly feel that impact. So when Elizabeth Warren says that it's going to be a targeted tax increase, what she actually means is it's a tax increase on average Americans, and it will be widespread.
All right. Well, Elizabeth Warren has a plan, as we said. Mattie Duppler's got the facts. Appreciate you coming in. Thanks.
Mattie.
All right. Remember.